First Contact and Revelation. Commander Nadia Rice stood on the observation deck of the EDF Vigilant, Earth Defense Fleet's newest flagship, gazing at the vast emptiness of space beyond Saturn's rings. 20 years in the fleet had taught her to appreciate these rare moments of solitude. Earth's expansion into the solar system over the past 30 years had brought unprecedented prosperity, but also new responsibilities. As commander of humanity's most advanced vessel, those responsibilities weighed heavily on her shoulders. "Commander," Lieutenant Kazuo Tanaka's voice broke through her thoughts. "We're detecting an unusual signal originating from beyond Pluto's orbit." Nadia turned, noting the concern in her communications officer's typically composed face. "Define unusual, Lieutenant." "It doesn't match any known human transmission pattern, and it's not natural stellar radiation either. It appears to be structured, deliberate." Her heart raced, but years of training kept her expression neutral. First contact protocols had existed for decades, but no one truly expected to use them. "Alert Earth Command. Bring the ship to yellow alert status, but keep it quiet. I don't want panic spreading through the crew." Within hours, the Vigilant's sensors detected objects moving toward the solar system at velocities that defied conventional physics. Not meteors or natural phenomena. These moved with purpose, changing course and acceleration in ways that indicated intelligent control. 7 objects, Commander, reported Chief Science Officer Dr. Elena Kuznetsov, the largest approximately 3 kilometers in length. They'll reach Saturn's orbit in less than 12 hours at current speeds. "Any response to our hailing signals?" Nadia asked. "Nothing, Commander, but they've definitely scanned us multiple times." Earth Command's orders came through shortly after. The Vigilant would make first contact. As humanity's most advanced vessel, it represented the best chance for meaningful interaction with whoever or whatever was approaching. The visitors arrived with a display of technological prowess that left the human crew in awe. Their ships resembled obsidian shards, reflecting starlight in colors that shouldn't exist naturally. They positioned themselves in a precise formation around the Vigilant, close enough to demonstrate control, but far enough to avoid appearing threatening. "We're receiving a transmission," Tanaka announced, his fingers dancing across his console. "Audio and visual." The view screen flickered to life, revealing a being that appeared almost human but with subtle differences that triggered an instinctive unease. Its skin was pale gray, eyes large and entirely black, with a frame slightly too thin for its height. "People of Earth," it spoke in perfect English, though its mouth movements didn't synchronize with the words. "I am Emissary Vex of the Void Heralds. Your existence has been noted by the Dominion. Your biological signatures are interesting. You will be studied and catalogued before harvesting." Nadia stepped forward. "This is Commander Nadia Rice of the Earth Defense Fleet. We welcome peaceful contact with other civilizations, but we do not consent to being harvested. Perhaps there's been a misunderstanding." The alien's expression didn't change. "There is no misunderstanding. Your species carries genetic markers of significant interest. Resistance is noted as a common response, but is ultimately futile. We will begin with your outposts on Mars. Preparation for your cataloging is advised." The transmission ended abruptly. Within minutes, reports flooded in of attacks on the Mars colonies. The Void Herald's technology cut through Earth's defenses like paper, their weapons distorting space itself around their targets. The Battle of Mars, as it would later be known, lasted less than 6 hours. 14,000 colonists taken, the installations left in ruins. The Vigilant and the rest of the EDF fleet fought desperately, but managed only to slow the invaders, not stop them. "They're targeting specific individuals," Dr. Kuznetsov noted, analyzing the attack patterns. "They're selecting people with certain genetic markers. This isn't random. It's a precise extraction." In the weeks that followed, Earth unified as never before. Old enemies became allies against an existential threat. The Void Heralds methodically worked their way through the outer colonies, always taking people rather than simply destroying installations, always scanning for specific genetic signatures. During a desperate defense of Europa Station, the Vigilant sustained heavy damage. Forced to retreat to the dark side of the moon, the crew detected something that hadn't appeared on their scans before, a faint energy signature emanating from within the lunar surface itself. "It's not natural," Dr. Kuznetsov confirmed. "And it's definitely not one of ours. The signature has similarities to the Void Herald's technology, but older somehow, more refined." Against protocol but following instinct, Nadia led a small team to investigate. What they discovered hidden beneath the lunar regolith changed everything. An ancient installation, clearly not of human origin, yet its entrance responded to Nadia's touch, illuminating corridors that had lain dormant for millennia. The facility contained technology beyond human understanding and data archives that, once deciphered, revealed a stunning truth. Humans weren't just another species in the galaxy. They were the descendants of a civilization known as the Elder Race, beings who had once dominated the galaxy but had faced extinction during a cosmic catastrophe. They had seeded Earth with their genetic material, embedding their legacy within human DNA, placing the facility on the moon to watch over their children's evolution. "The Void Heralds are harvesters," Nadia explained to Earth Command after studying the archives. "They searched the galaxy for valuable genetic material. What they found in us isn't just valuable, it's threatening to them. We carry the dormant genetic legacy of the Elder Race, their ancient enemies." More disturbing was the revelation that the Void Heralds weren't just collecting humans for study. They were extracting specific genetic sequences to prevent humanity from ever accessing the latent abilities encoded within their DNA. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. During a Void Herald attack on the lunar base, Dr. Kuznetsov was trapped in the ancient facility's central chamber. As the attack intensified, something within the chamber, and within her, responded. Witnesses described it as a wave of pure energy emanating from her, disabling the Void Herald ships in orbit. When they found her, the Lena was changed. "I can see the patterns now," she explained, her eyes occasionally flickering with the same impossible colors as the Elder Race technology. The genetic keys were always there, waiting to be turned. Helena wasn't unique. Across Earth and the remaining colonies, others began manifesting abilities, subtle at first, then more pronounced. Enhanced intuition, impossible calculations, matter manipulation on the quantum level. The dormant legacy of the Elder Race was awakening, triggered by the existential threat and exposure to their ancient technology. The Void Heralds responded with increased aggression. What had been a methodical harvesting operation became a desperate attempt to exterminate humanity before more could awaken to their inherited potential. As the first part of this cosmic saga concluded, humanity stood at a crossroads, no longer just fighting for survival, but beginning to reclaim a birthright hidden in their very cells. The Elder Race hadn't just left their genetic legacy. They had created humanity as their successors, designed to evolve into something that could one day surpass even them. And the Void Heralds knew it. Ascension and victory. 3 months after the discovery of the lunar facility, Earth had become almost unrecognizable. The awakening spread exponentially, with nearly 10% of the population now showing signs of enhanced abilities. Some manifested physical changes, subtle alterations to eye color or skin luminescence. Others developed cognitive enhancements that allowed them to process information at unprecedented speeds or perceive patterns invisible to normal human senses. The Void Heralds had established a blockade around Earth, their obsidian ships forming a web in orbit that prevented both escape and rescue. Their attacks had become more targeted, focusing on those who showed signs of awakening. Commander Nadia Reyes, who had been among the first to access enhanced intuitive abilities, now led a unified Earth defense force from the underground remnants of Geneva. The old political boundaries had dissolved in the face of extinction, replaced by a single goal: survival and ascension. "They're afraid," Nadia explained to the Global Defense Council. "The Void Heralds have encountered Elder Race descendants before, but never a population so numerous, with such pure genetic markers. We're not just carrying fragments. We're the direct inheritors. Dr. Elena Kuznetsov, now more elder than human in her genetic expression, had become humanity's greatest asset. Her consciousness could interface directly with the recovered elder race technology, unlocking secrets buried for millennia. The lunar facility was just an outpost, she revealed, a monitoring station designed to observe our development. The real prize is elsewhere in our solar system, a defense platform capable of protecting the entire solar system. According to the ancient data, the elder race had established a network of defensive platforms throughout the galaxy before their disappearance. One such platform was hidden within the asteroid belt, disguised as a dwarf planet. If activated, it could generate a field that would neutralize the Void Herald's reality distortion weapons. The mission to reach the platform became humanity's last hope. Nadia assembled a team of the most powerfully awakened individuals, including Dr. Kuznetsov and the recently emerged tactical genius Marcus Chen, whose ability to perceive branching probabilities made him an unparalleled strategist. Their ship, the Phoenix, incorporated salvaged elder race technology with human ingenuity, the first true hybrid vessel. It could briefly phase out of normal space, becoming invisible to the Void Herald sensors. "We'll have one chance," Marcus explained, his eyes constantly tracking invisible probability lines. "The moment we activate our phase drive, they'll detect the energy spike. We'll have 73 seconds to clear the blockade before they can triangulate our position." The escape from Earth was harrowing. The Phoenix phased through the blockade with seconds to spare, sustaining damage that would have destroyed a conventional vessel. 3 Void Herald pursuit ships detected them, but Marcus's probability calculations allowed for evasive maneuvers that seemed to anticipate the enemy's actions before they occurred. As they approached the asteroid belt, Elena's connection to the elder technology strengthened. "It's there," she whispered, pointing to what appeared to be an unremarkable asteroid. "Ceres, the dwarf planet isn't natural. It's a shell." The Phoenix docked with an invisible access point on Ceres's surface. Inside, they discovered a vast complex that dwarfed the lunar facility, a fully operational elder race command center, dormant but intact. Elena moved through the facility with the certainty of someone returning home, activating systems that had waited eons for the return of their creators. "The platform needs a genetic key," she explained, "a direct neural interface with someone carrying the full activation sequence." Genetic scans revealed that Nadia carried the most complete activation sequence of anyone on the team. The interface process was risky. No human nervous system had ever been designed to channel such energies. "If this works," Elena explained, "you'll become the conduit for the platform's defense network. Your consciousness will temporarily expand to encompass the entire system." "And if it doesn't work?" Nadia asked. Elena's expression was solemn. "Then we find another way. There's always another way." As Nadia connected to the neural interface, her consciousness exploded outward, expanding beyond the physical constraints of her body. She perceived the entire solar system as an interconnected web of energy and matter. She could see the Void Herald ships as dark intrusions in this harmonious pattern, and she could see Earth, burning bright with thousands of awakening minds. Through sheer will, she activated the platform's defense network. A wave of golden energy expanded outward from Ceres, washing over the solar system like a tide. Where it touched the Void Herald ships, their reality distortion fields collapsed, their weapons failing. On Earth, the remaining military forces seized this unexpected advantage. Awakened humans led the counterattack, using their emerging abilities in concert with conventional weapons. Ships that had seemed invulnerable now fell to concentrated fire. The Void Heralds, facing unexpected defeat, deployed their last resort, a singularity weapon designed to collapse the sun itself. As the weapon activated, Nadia, still connected to the platform, sensed the disturbance in the solar web. In that moment of crisis, the final barriers in human DNA broke down. Across Earth and the colonies, Those with the strongest elder genes experienced a simultaneous second awakening. Their collective consciousness briefly united, channeling through Nadia and the defense platform. The resulting surge of power did more than stop the singularity weapon. It reversed it, creating a cascading failure that spread throughout the Void Herald fleet. Their ships, dependent on the same fundamental technology, began to collapse in on themselves. The emissary's flagship, detecting the catastrophic defeat, attempted to flee. Before it could escape the solar system, it was intercepted by the Phoenix, now piloted by Marcus Chen, who had calculated the precise moment of vulnerability. The final transmission from Emissary Vex revealed the true scope of the conflict. You do not understand what you have become. The elder race was purged from this galaxy for a reason. Their power could not be controlled. In awakening their legacy, you have marked your system for greater attention. They will come now, those who hunted the elders to extinction. As the remnants of the Void Herald fleet were eliminated or driven from the solar system, humanity faced a new reality. The defense platform at Ceres became their new command center, with outposts established throughout the system to monitor for future threats. Dr. Elena Kuznetsov led efforts to understand and develop the awakened abilities, now manifesting in nearly 30% of the population. Those with the strongest expressions began training others, creating a new educational paradigm focused on responsible use of these inherited powers. Commander Nadia Reyes, forever changed by her connection to the elder technology, retained a constant awareness of the solar system's defensive web. She became humanity's sentinel, her consciousness partially merged with the platform itself. Marcus Chen's probability mapping abilities allowed him to glimpse potential futures, including threats greater than the Void Heralds, approaching from the depths of intergalactic space. Under his guidance, humanity began preparing for these future conflicts, developing technologies that merged human innovation with elder principles. Earth began to rebuild, its societies transformed by the knowledge that they were not cosmic accidents but inheritors of an ancient legacy. The old divisions of nation, race, and creed faded as a new understanding took hold. All humans shared the same cosmic ancestry. All carried the potential for ascension. As the dust settled, Nadia stood in the central chamber of the Ceres platform, gazing at a holographic map of the galaxy. Countless stars burned bright, many harboring worlds that the elder race had once visited. Perhaps some held other descendants, other inheritors waiting to be discovered. "We're not alone anymore," she said to Elena and Marcus as they joined her. And we never really were. The elder race had created humanity as their successors, embedding within human DNA the potential to surpass even their creators. The awakening had only just begun. The stars, once impossibly distant, now seemed within reach. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, not as conquerors or refugees, but as rightful inheritors returning to claim their cosmic legacy. The elder race was gone, but in humanity, their greatest achievement lived on. And somewhere in the vast darkness between galaxies, ancient forces took notice. The saga of the elder race had entered a new chapter. Humanity's trial by fire had forged them into something new, something that even the enemies of the elders would learn to fear. The elder children had awakened at last.